Hello everyone. In this video, let's see how to load data from AWS S3 bucket to RDS Oracle using AWS Glue. Let's see how to create a data source of S3 bucket. This is my AWS management console. Let me navigate to S3 bucket. ETL AWS. I have these files in the bucket. Let's import all these CSV files into AWS Glue. In Glue, files are also referred as tables. Let me navigate to AWS Glue. These are Oracle RDS data source which I have imported already, and I have provided the link below to demonstrate how to import Oracle RDS data source. Let's add a database and name it as S3. Database is created. We have to add classifier. Let's name it as CSV and select CSV since the files in the bucket are in CSV format. Delimiter is comma. We can specify the required delimiters. Characters are enclosed with double quotes in the file, so I am selecting double quotes. We can select required special character enclosed with. Files are having headers. We can also specify custom headers if required. Allow files with single column can be checked if the file has only one column. We can trim the columns to remove the white spaces while consuming the file from S3 bucket. Now we have to create crawlers. Crawler name, let's say S3 data source. New data source. Data store is S3. Connection is empty since it's S3 bucket. Specify the path of S3 bucket from where to import the files. We can also exclude the files by providing the pattern of the files to be excluded. We should have IAM role to integrate S3 and AWS Glue. We can create the role or update the policy in the existing IAM role. We can also select existing IAM role. I have already created a role, ETL. Frequency, I am selecting run on demand. Database is S3, which we created initially. If required, we can add prefix to the objects imported from S3 bucket. We can set up grouping behavior and configuration options if required. These are the properties. Crawler is created. Let's run the crawler to import the files from S3 bucket. Crawler for S3 data sources started. "51 seconds elapsed. Crawler is getting stopped. Crawler execution is completed. Status is ready. It took 57 seconds to complete. 8 tables are imported. Since they are CSV files, suffix is CSV. Let's see how to create Oracle RDS data source. Let me navigate to AWS Glue console. There is no database, no tables, and no connections set up yet. And we don't have crawlers also created yet. Let's create database. Database name, let's say Oracle RDS. Connection name, Oracle RDS. Connection type, Amazon RDS. Database engine is Oracle. Next, instance is Oracle. Database name is ORCL. Username is Jim McCallie. And password. Next, finish. Database connection is created. Let's test the connection. Connection is successful. We have to create a crawler now. crawler name, let's say Oracle RDS DB. Crawler is the one which imports the objects as data source. Data store is JDBC. Connection is Oracle RDS, the one which we created initially. In include path, we can specify the object from the database to be imported. For Oracle format, database name / schema name / table name. I am defining database name alone, ORCL, since I want to import all the objects from the database. Exclude patterns. We can exclude the objects if required by defining the pattern of the objects. Next, add another data store. No. IAM role. I have already created IAM role ETL to access Glue and RDS. Next, frequency. We can set the frequency to execute the jobs. Right now I am providing run on demand so that we can execute whenever it's required. Next, database is the one which we created initially. We can add prefix to the tables if required. We can use grouping behavior of S3 data if required. This can be used when we use data source from S3 bucket. Configuration options. We can select the configurations as required. In case schema is changed or object is deleted from the data store, what action should be performed by the crawler can be defined. Let's move on to the next step. These are the properties of the crawler. Crawler is created. We have to run the crawler to import the objects from the database. Right now there are no any objects imported. I have 4 tables in the database. Let's import all the tables into AWS Glue. Select and run the crawler. Crawler is running now. Status is starting. 2 minutes elapsed. Crawler execution is completed. Status is ready. It took 2 minutes to complete. And it imported 4 tables from the database. Let's navigate to tables. 4 tables are imported from the database with the prefix of database name and username. Let's see how to load data from AWS S3 bucket to RDS Oracle. Let me navigate to AWS Glue. Jobs, add job, name, let's name it as employees, IAM role as ETL, type, we can select in which language ETL pipeline has to be coded in Glue. We have Spark, Spark streaming and Python shell. I am selecting Spark. Glue version of Spark and Python. We can select whether to generate the Spark code or to upload existing code or to write our own code in the window. Script file name is employees. We can select the location in S3 bucket where the script files has to be stored. Selecting the temp location in S3 bucket. We can bookmark the job if required. We have monitoring options. We can tag if required. Security configuration. Add additional libraries or jobs or reference path if applicable. Catalog option is to manage the metadata. Let's select employees data as source from S3 bucket. We can change schema if required. Selecting the employees table as target from RDS Oracle. These are the mappings generated with respective columns. We can change the mapping if required. As a test case, let's map first name to the last name and last name to the first name, and let's validate the result. Let's check the table. Table is empty. Save job. Edit script. Spark script is auto-generated. You can see all the required libraries are imported and below are the codes. You can see in the mapping function, last name is mapped to the first name and first name to the last name, and respective columns were also mapped accordingly. We have multiple transformations as same as any other ETL tools. We have filter, join, map, etc. We can utilize them as needed. Let me select filter transformation and check. You can see function for filter is created and we can define required condition within the function. By default, apply mappings, select fields and resolve choice transformations were applied to the mapping. We can see the diagram on the left side. We can also check the schema of source and target objects. Let's run the job. Job is running. Let's check the table. Data is loaded into the table. Let's check if first name is loaded into last name and last name into first name. Let me open the file in S3 bucket. Show file preview. It's Stephen King. Let's see. Yes, it has been loaded as King Steven. First name is loaded into the last name and last name is loaded into the first name. Let's check one more data set. Nina Kocher. Yes, the name Kocher is loaded into first name and Nina is loaded into last name. We can also check the job history. We have job ID, run status is succeeded. We have logs, error logs, Glue version, and we have start time, end time, execution time, etc. Thank you guys. Please subscribe the channel and comment in case of any queries.